Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday evening meditation offered by the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C. I'm Reverend Rob Banaszak. I'm the pastor of the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C. And as you can tell, I'm feeling a little summery this evening because it is such a beautiful evening. We celebrated the summer solstice just a few days ago and now are enjoying the gorgeous weather that is brought on by the return of the sun. And as we discussed on Sunday, the one thing that we want to remember all through this summer and beyond is we are the sun. We don't have to wait for its return. We can be the sun and be the light and bring the light to wherever we want to be or to bring it to. We use these beautiful cards to help guide us in our meditation this evening, and they're called the Earth Magic cards. And that's backwards, but the card will not be when we place it down for the camera. And last week, or 2 weeks ago, actually, we chose the most beautiful card which was coincidentally for Pride season, the Rainbow card. And the Rainbow card indicated for us blessings in any way that we could conceive. And so we're going to use the cards again, as we do pretty much most Wednesdays, to just inspire us, to give us that little nudge of creative spark to think about, to meditate on, to reflect on. So you may want to ask a question of the universe this evening, or maybe not. The card that we draw, we can represent both us as individuals as well as us as a community who happens to be meditating together this evening, as well as online at any time that you may catch this, if you are watching on our YouTube channel. Which of course reminds me to tell you to please like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you can get notifications of when we are presenting our meditations or other special services or other events that we want to share with you. So don't forget, like and subscribe, and I will remind you once again, have no fear. So we're going to change the order a little bit tonight because we were working with a kind of a new, a different order for the contact cards, which we used last week. And those cards are cards that take us to the outer realms, to outer space, as well as to the inner universe within outer space. And so I invited people before we began to interpret the card to relax and get settled. And that's what we'll do again. So first, I want you to just, wherever you are, whether you're watching on YouTube now or whether you're watching it later as a recording, or whether you're watching on Zoom, to just add your energy to the cards for all of us as I move the cards around before I choose one. And then I'm going to choose the top one of this deck so that you know that I'm not reaching in or pulling out something intuitively, so that you can see for yourself. This is the card coming off the top that represents all of us who are meditating this evening. So I'm just going to move them around. And again, you've seen me drop them. You've seen me mis-shuffle them, if that's a word. I can never proclaim to be a shuffler. My husband is a great shuffler. But then that means you bend the cards too when that happens. And I don't want that. Just moving around, just add your energy. You can just kind of stare at your screen or hold your hands up or just send me a good thought about what you are thinking about midweek during this first full week of the 2021 summer season. And I'm going to stop now. So our card for tonight is, are you waiting with bated breath? Oh. Now, we happen to get several of these cards over and over again, and I shuffle them quite well. I mean, I move them around very well. And this is a card we've had before. So the card is fog, and the word we're working with tonight is veiled. Fog and veiled. I'm going to put the card down, so I've got it on another camera so that you can take a look at the card as I read more about it. There it is. So you're going to start getting relaxed now. You might want to watch this. You might want to look at the card. I really do like you to kind of take a look at it, kind of get a sense of what you're feeling when you look at the card, when you see that fog, the images that you see. What does it strike inside of you when you read the word fog or veiled, when you see the elements that are in the image of the card? What do they make you feel? How do you feel when you look at them? And then as I read from the book about the card again, just kind of clock how you're feeling and responding to the words in the interpretation and to the short discussion we'll have afterwards. And then we will go into meditation. And we've had this card before. The card is fog, and its message is veiled. So as I read this again, you can stare at the card on your screen. You can begin to lay back and relax. Maybe you want to close your eyes as I read this. I'll leave up to you. And so here we go. Fog is simply a low cloud, a blanket of water crystals that hasn't gained the density of raindrops. The thicker it is, the more it shrouds us in its damp and billowy arms. It can be so thick that it makes it nearly impossible to see directly in front of us. During those times, silence makes its own sound as we pause and allow ourselves to be enveloped in this shroud of impenetrable density. We may even feel as if we do nothing to be still, as if we can do nothing to be still and await what is to be revealed. Yet, within the thickest fog, we can be assured that it will eventually burn off as the sun's rays infiltrate the veil. Once they do, we can anticipate how the light and warmth will bring us welcome relief from the cold. As the sun continues to disperse the fog, our surroundings become illuminated and we have the opportunity to continue onward. So it says, and again, pay attention to how you respond to what I'm saying and kind of see how you can apply it or move it along for the next thought that comes in if it's not aligning with you. You are enmeshed in confusion and uncertainty and are unsure if it will ever clear up. This is not the best time to make decisions, particularly any major ones. Know that this foggy veil will eventually dissolve. Although there may be ways you are unconsciously contributing to this state, the greater truth is that this is simply a cycle you are moving through, and, like all things, this too shall pass. Allow yourself to feel confused. In fact, decide to be confused. No matter what attempts you make right now to make things happen or move in any specific direction out of impatience or frustration, you risk only creating more confusion and uncertainty. So be still and patient. Wait for that first glimmer of awareness to lift the veil so that you can see the choices before you more clearly and can then choose to align yourself with the will of Spirit. So, I don't know your life. I don't know if you are enmeshed in confusion or uncertainty. But I do know that we all get enmeshed in confusion and uncertainty. And so rather than see this as a prescription to not make a decision right now, I invite you to use this card and the message of this card to reflect on where you might have this confusion and uncertainty in your life. It's not a state that you are living in. It's just a place in your life that you may have that bit of confusion or uncertainty. And so then it becomes clearer that, of course, if you are unclear about something, if you're undecided or continue to say, I don't know what I should do, then of course that's not the right perspective to make the decision. What we want ourselves to do is to bring ourselves to a point where in meditation or combining meditation and kind of being aware of what's happening around you and the signs that you are being guided to have that level of clarity that may come as an aha moment. So I think that's what this means when it says allow yourself to be confused. Don't try to offset it, but do make sure that you're acting to clarify it, because you don't want to sit in the fog. You know that it's going to move through. You know that the sun, as we know from the last couple of days, is going to burn it off, but you want to be in control of this. So all this card's really asking us all to do is to look at that area courageously. It's not being completely blocked out. Your decision is not being blocked by anything that is completely opaque. It's veiled. It's there. You know it's there. You can see it through the veil. All it needs to do is to lift when you are ready to have it lift. So allow the fog. Feels kind of good sometimes. It's really cool at night. And then before you make a decision in that fog, just allow whatever is being presented to you, whatever you are reading or hearing, to just register with you until you can feel that clarity and say, ah, yes, that's the way. And so we can try to get there tonight in meditation. I encourage you to, but really look at this night to just be in the stillness, in the fog, or in its clearing. It's totally up to you. Wherever you go with the sounds of the tones, whatever you're hearing, whatever I'm saying, just allow it to take you to where you need to be this evening about this issue. Okay? So, enough of my talking. You know I love it. So I'm going to invite everybody to sit back and relax or lie down and just make sure that you are comfortable and that your spine is aligned. Try not to fall asleep, but it's late in the day and many of you might have been working all day. But just really try to remain conscious or to remain connected to the touchstone of the tones or my voice in the meditation, so that even if you feel like you're nodding off, you know you're connected to the space because you can kind of hear me in the background somewhere. And keep your eyes open just for now. Even if you're getting comfortable. So this is the time that we begin to enter into meditation by paying attention to our breath. And so we inhale through the nose and we exhale through our mouth deeply and with intention to fill our entire body, inhaling and holding for a moment and exhaling. Inhaling again and exhaling. Pay attention to how that breath feels as it enters your body. Does it feel cold? Does it fill you? So as it returns to its natural rhythm, just pay attention for the next few moments as you breathe. Feel it going in your nostrils and down into your body, and feel its nourishing power. Feel it rejuvenate you, even as you relax more and more with every breath. Just breathing naturally, paying close attention. More and more relaxed, more and more relaxed. Now that we're in this relaxed state, breathing naturally, we can now begin to let our focus drift from the breath and we imagine that all around us, wherever we are, we feel this gentle mist of fog begin to slowly fill the room. Maybe we've had that experience at a party where there was a fog machine, but you sense the rolling in of this beautiful, gentle mist coming in through the walls, through the doors, through the floors. And the fog has just a most pleasant scent, like our favorite essential oil or fragrance from our youth, or the memory of the perfume of someone we love. So when we breathe it in, we can feel its cleansing power. We can feel its coolness. We can feel it enliven us from the inside out. More and more. The fog is rolling in. As we begin to allow it to envelop our physical self, rolling over us, over our feet and up our legs at the same time, rolling over our crown and our forehead and face, rolling us, covering us like a refreshing, cool blanket. Until that fog meets in the center where our heart is. And when it does, we are so relaxed, feeling so completely comfortable that we turn ourselves over to the fog, allowing our physical self to just appear to disappear into its cool, refreshing mist. We know that our physical bodies remain safe in the earth plane, anchored by the slow, intentional breath. And here in the fog, because we know we're going to allow ourselves to experience it, we feel safe. We feel safe to let our mind, our essence, review those areas in our life to just find one for this evening. It's not an area of life that is one of trauma, but right now, on this beautiful summer's evening, it's an area that we do seek some further information. We do seek clarity. We do seek the lifting of the veil. Knowing full well that we ourselves have chosen to keep this veil over this issue or in this experience. But tonight, have the courage to at least look at it honestly and assess our readiness to have that veil lifted. Whatever it is. It may be a place we have a question in our lives. A decision we have to make. Course of action to take in a relationship. We know. We know in our hearts what it is. And so in this fog, we sit with this issue, this experience. Just sit with it. The veil is still on, but we can still see through it. We've not blocked it out. We've We've just veiled it so we could come back to it later, never ignoring it, always knowing that we would. And tonight, feeling safe and feeling empowered to do it. As the tones drift away, we begin to remember the card that we drew this evening. We remember the imagery that resonated with us. What elements of that image did we see? Did we notice? Did we embrace? How did we see the fog represented on that card? And in our own fog, our comfortable and embracing and safety fog, we bring that card into our mind's eye. And bring forth the images from it that meant the most to us. And I invite everyone now to recall those images and see if your response to those images or response to the words that I was reading can open your mind to see something about the situation that you have courageously but gently remembered in your mind's eye. Can you see? Can you feel the images of the card, the words from the interpretation? Can you see something about that experience with a greater clarity than you had had just a few minutes ago? I think you can. I think we all can. That clarity comes to you like a vision directly where your third eye is, right in your forehead. You begin to see it. It's still coded in a way. It's still veiled, but you see it as a way, even if it's not the way, it is a way for you to experience clarity. In the silence, we're going to hear the drum beat, the heartbeat that is our heartbeat. And we don't just hear the drum beat, we feel it in the fog, pulsating our essence. We sense the rhythm and the life that is kept alive by the rhythm. And as this rhythm beats, we notice the mist that has enveloped us begins to ever so gently dissolve. And as it does, the scene from our lives becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. We may see a solution. We may just see a possibility. But whatever we see in our mind's eye, we see with greater and greater clarity. More and more. We relax into that clarity and just allow the sounds to take us on a journey with this scene and its clarity. perfect clarity. So we experience this perfect clarity as a solution, as a possibility, as an open door to reconciliation or to resolution or to evolution in this area of our lives. We feel grateful for this clarity. We feel grateful that the fog has kept us veiled until this very moment, so that the revelation that we've experienced could be experienced most effectively. And so it's almost as if to guide us back to the earth plane, the fog quickly rolls in again and covers us as its protective rolling in, preparing us for our return, covering that essence, never blotting it out, but now only giving us the mechanism for travel back to our bodies. And the fog bursts ahead at lightning speed, carrying us with its coolness, with its refreshing, cool feeling and beautiful scent, rushing through the air, thicker than clouds, not quite rain. Until it stops and rests and collects into a beautiful misty ball. And as that ball settles down and begins to dissolve, the mist clears as our body, which was never really gone, our body reappears. Right from the center where our heart is, coming up through our torso all the way through our shoulders and hands through our head at the same time, moving down past our legs and our feet, bringing us back to ourselves, as we suddenly once again become aware of the breath that has held us, kept us safe, and anchored us. Breathing in and out. Naturally. We're ready to return fully to our bodies, to this evening. We can feel the energy in our physical selves that is also relaxation. It's peace. So while we feel the creativity of our imagination, we also feel the gentle coming down of our physical bodies as we prepare for our rest this evening. I'm going to ask us all to take 3 deep breaths. The first 2 will be quick. We keep our eyes closed, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling again and exhaling. And on the final breath, inhale nice and deeply. And exhale as we open our eyes. And find ourselves returned to our space, to our earth space, wherever that may be. Our bedroom, our living room, or the cool grass outside. Did you feel it clear? Did you see that scene or scenario or situation with more clarity than you had? Did you see it as a possibility? Not as the total answer, but just a way to open your mind to thinking about it differently or more clearly. I hope you did. And again, if you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe and come back here for recordings of many of our services and sermons and other events. Of course, we've got lots going on online with the Institute for Spiritual Development. Be sure to check out our website at www.isd-dc.org. That's isd-dc.org. We've got our message gallery coming up this Saturday. We have got a wonderful Akashics Records workshop coming up at the end of July, and we are excited to see all of you there. So check the website, register, and I wish you all a beautiful summer's evening in this new space of rejuvenated relaxation. See you again next week. We have our spiritual screen share, which is where we are showing one of my favorite situation comedies. It just happens to be extremely spiritual and philosophical, The Good Place. So come back here. We'll be watching episodes, I think 6, 7, and 8, or 7, 8, and 9. It doesn't matter if you've seen them or not before. You're going to love them. We will show you how to love them. But if you are going to watch them in advance, we're watching on Netflix. So again, we watched the first 6 episodes in the last couple of months. So do join us for that as well. Link will be on our website. And I will then bid you finally good night. Thank you for coming.